biggest one in the cupboard has come out today. It really is magnificent. It's almost a hazard to air traffic. It's so big.
Such wonderful scenes. These are, of course, the horses from the Royal Mews who are filling the carriage. Shortly they'll be joined by the mounted escort of the Household Cavalry, and I think it will be so lovely to see the interaction actually between Harry and Meghan there. They'll be seeing the crowds for the first time that have gathered to see them.
The Windsor Grey horses, specially selected for the procession today, the ones who are going to be on their best behaviour, but also, of course, the ones that look really magnificent. Everything has been prepared in great detail for this procession. It'll last probably the best part of half an hour, but every inch of this procession has been planned. And you're going to see something, you know, not just the colour, not just the style, not just the pageantry, but it's going to be an impressive show for the world to see. It is a symbol, if you like, of military precision, but also the kind of, I suppose, the ceremonial flair that the British bring to these things.
They do. I mean, we see occasions like this sometimes when the Queen welcomes world leaders here for state visits. There's a comparable show as the procession will come up to the castle. What we're going to see, though, is really unlike anything. It's going to be the longest, I think, procession through the streets of Windsor we've seen in a very long time.
And he mentioned the extraordinary training and precision that goes into this. These horses have actually had special training to cope and prepare them for the crowds they're going to see. And here they actually, I'm told, they have earmuffs in their earplugs in their ears to help them cope with the noise of the crowd. And what will be lovely for this mounted escort to see is to see the groom in his Household Cavalry Blues and Royals uniform. I think that will make them feel especially proud to be escorting them.
By our bandstand, passing the Victoria Monument, down Castle Hill, turning left up the High Street to raptures of the fans are welcome here. Such a warm welcome. Household Cavalry coming down, and the new Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
It really is quite a sight indeed, Dermot, and there is a wonderful fusion here of significant British pageantry matched with the rather charming small-scale streets of Windsor, which are just sparkling today with these beautiful Union flag banners, and indeed you may see at some point in the procession route there's 1,000 metres of bunting that has been made by the tiny busy hands of the school children of Windsor and many other kids from around Berkshire. So we're seeing a lovely uniting of some rather handmade casual moments and some very proper British moments. Estimates today that around about 120,000 people would amass in and around Windsor, and I have to say, I think it is going to be, in the final count, many, many more thousands than that. The Windsor Greys doing their job well, not being put off by the cheers and the waving of the flags. And there we get a glimpse of the bride and the groom.
So the carriage procession on its way through the heart of the town of Windsor. A word about the travelling escort, because, you know, it's always a great sight. The Household Cavalry, they really are so impressive on all occasions. So we have 2 officers and 24 soldiers involved in the travelling escort. Commanding Officer, Lieutenant Colonel James Gaisley, commanding the travelling escort for the entire procession. He's been commanding officer of the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment since December of 2015. He's riding very near the carriage, I think probably on the right-hand side as we look. So that's James Gaisley. And then we have the Lance Corporal of Horse, Frankie O'Leary. We spoke to Frank yesterday about today's escort duties. He served on several tours of Afghanistan, and he's been on several tours abroad with the Lifeguards since 2002. A couple of tours of Afghanistan, I think, and I think he actually served as a radio operator in Prince Harry's troop. So lots of personal links here today, some of which are not so obvious, but it's worth just underlining how much thought has gone into this procession as well.
Absolutely. It's wonderful to see the mounted escort of the Household Cavalry. There's actually here another really lovely personal link between the commanding officer James Gaisley and Harry. His sister, Sarah Jane Gaisley, was actually a bridesmaid at Charles and Diana's wedding, and his father, Nick Gaisley, a very famous National Hunt racing trainer, trained the Prince of Wales as a young jockey. So a wonderful personal link there, but fantastic to see the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment doing their thing, doing what they do best. That pomp and pageantry makes us feel very proud, doesn't it?
Certainly does, as they come past Victoria Barracks there. Colonel Gaisley, of course, was riding the same horse this time last week at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. He's actually competing in the show jumping in front of the Queen, so they seem quite odd of him lately.
Interesting, the Victoria Barracks, which are on the left there, they look quite modern, don't they? But there's been a military barracks there since, I think, the 18th century, at least the end of the 18th century, but of course much enlarged now, and it's where lots of the 5 Guards regiments come to stay at Victoria Barracks in turn. I think, yes, they take their turn now.